What up, everyone? I'm here to make another video, this time talking about Scorpion and Smoke. I appreciate everyone that watched my video on Sub-Zero and how I change him. The reception seemed pretty good so far, and I thought I'd just keep it up. For a TLDR and basically what I talked about in the Behind video, because that's very important to understanding where I want to take Scorpion and Tomas's character based off of that, is when they were growing up, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they were attacked by the rival clan, the Shirai Ryu. And so during this conflict with the Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu, their mother is killed. However, the Lin Kuei come out on top overall. As punishment, and in terms of just brokering a peace between the two clans, their father, who's the Grandmaster Lin Kuei, he takes in one of the Shirai Ryu as their own in order to raise them in Lin Kuei values. He can just kind of be the bridge between the two clans and an ambassador. That person is Tomas, their adopted younger brother. That's how I want Tomas to be entered in the picture, because it solves a lot of problems. Bi-Han has a reason to hate his dad now because he was weak and he basically let his mother die without much repercussion for the Shirai Ryu. He hates Tomas because he's from the rival clan that killed his mom, and now Bi-Han has just a very strict hard-on for basically having order, wanting to run things his way, and just thinking he can do a better job. That's basically the end of the TLDR, and so I'll just continue on from there and pick up where I left off. So I picture this all happening where basically the Grandmaster sits down Scorpion and Sub-Zero and explains what's going on, saying, this is Smoke or this is Tomas. He's going to be one of your brothers. We're going to raise him as our own, and you're going to love him the same as you'd love anyone else from the Lin Kuei. And Sub-Zero obviously does not like this. He's upset. He probably just storms off throwing a fit. But Scorpion's a little different. He has a bit more self-control and maturity to him, and he understands that if his father is wanting this to be done this way, there must be a reason. And I think you can see Tomas in a corner somewhere or just being introduced crying. How I picture Tomas's arc going is where he's essentially insecure and feeling that he doesn't belong, because in a way he doesn't. He's in a clan now where a lot of people hate them because it's not just Sub-Zero. It's probably other Lin Kuei members too that are upset about what happened to the Grandmaster's wife. He doesn't know how he really belongs in the world. Like, his family just gave him up, more or less. I don't know if it was willingly or not, but still, he'll feel like he was abandoned. I think this is a great opportunity that will get referenced later of Scorpion to go and comfort Tomas, maybe hug him and just say, like, welcome to Lin Kuei, welcome to the family. If I haven't made it clear, I want Scorpion to really come off as the mature one of the brothers, where he is doing his best to continue off of the image that their father had on what a Grandmaster should be. He's the guy that's going to step up when no one else will, to be calm when there's panic amongst people, and he's going to lead the charge and do his best to properly, essentially serve and protect others. He's going to be the guy that, when he should be hating someone, he's going to try to let love in his heart instead. And so he embraces Tomas, and that just starts the foundation for their bond. And part of also how I want Tomas to really stand out is he doesn't fight the same way as the Lin Kuei does, where Tomas is just noticeably like a physically weaker fighter. He has a different style. It's not what the Lin Kuei are about. And he, as the bio does already say, his main strength is related to magic. That's how he really gets his edge on people, and that's his main form of combat. And that's totally fine because it's effective in his own way. However, it's just another thing that makes him stand out and to make him really seem different to other people, where the Lin Kuei don't fully embrace him. At least some people, including Sub-Zero. This is where I kind of take a spicy direction on how I want to change Smoke's character, because I would have a scene where after the Madame Bo fight is going on, Sub-Zero, Smoke, and Scorpion are all together. And in this scene, Sub-Zero is criticizing Smoke because, while they maybe in general were holding back during the Madame Bo fight scene in order to test out Raiden and Kung Lao just so they don't beat the living shit out of them, Sub-Zero is taking every opportunity he can to just shit on Tomas/Smoke and just make him feel bad about himself, basically. And so while this is all going down, he's just saying, are you sure you're holding back? I'm not sure. If you were going easy on them or they were going easy on you, just something to taunt him, because that's just that's kind of how I envision Sub-Zero talks to Tomas as they're growing up. He just constantly is just being an asshole to him, basically. And it's just really digging into Tomas feeling insecure and like he doesn't belong. I would also have to think about what chapter I'd replace, just because I don't want to just keep adding things, because I know developmental constraints really play into how a game turns out at the end, but I think there should be a chapter that's focused on Smoke before they go and check out the Soul Stealers, where essentially Liu Kang and Geras had a conversation earlier on where he's like, "Hey, someone's messing with the timelines. I don't know who or how, but they're already like kind of tampering with your vision on how I think Earthrealm should be or how Liu Kang thought Earthrealm should be." So Liu Kang now is a bit paranoid. Like he's like, who the heck is potentially from the other timeline that is messing with my vision? And at some point he notices or gets reports of like a disturbance going on. Something he doesn't really know like what is causing it or what is happening, but maybe some energy is being emitted, maybe like a black cloud has engulfed some certain location. I don't really know, but because the Earthrealmers are either likely just returning from Outworld or maybe still are at Outworld at this point, let's just say that he needs the Lin Kuei to investigate it instead. And so Sub-Zero, Smoke, and Scorpion lead the charge, and they go on to see what's up. This is where I think things get a little spicy, and I hope you guys like this change in direction. The specifics on why the Lin Kuei went or what exactly was causing them to go investigate it, it doesn't really matter to me. The whole point is that they have to go there because eventually they stumble upon something that's just out of the ordinary. They don't really know what it is, the Lin Kuei, and they're trying to like see like, well, like what the heck is this? And I think they should have it where, let's just put it in simple terms, there's like some ancient relic that has some evil glow to it. I don't know if like smoke's emitting from it. Something about it just definitely looks unnatural, and they come across it at the end of wherever they're going or trying to investigate. Sub-Zero then has Smoke go and be like, well, why don't you go see what's going on? And Smoke, again, that's his Grandmaster for one, and two, he doesn't want to look weak in front of Bi-Han, who already just shits on him constantly. So he goes goes touch it, checks out what's going on, or gets close, and whatever that thing is, it essentially has a Nenra. And when Smoke gets close, it just goes into him. Now, this can obviously be tweaked. I didn't add a lot of detail to the story because I don't think the detail is super important right now. Long story short, I just need something to get to where Smoke now has a Nenra and he's dealing with that, because that's a huge part of how I want his character to be developed. Some of you might be asking, what is a Nenra? If you want to look up a YouTube video on how it was presented before, you totally can, but to just kind of give you a very brief summary of what it is, it's just some demon, like just some old ancient magical demon type thing is how I want it to be for this current MK1 story for Smoke. And it's just something that Smoke absorbs, he gets a bunch of weird powers for it, and it's essentially trying to consume him. That's more or less just the gist of it for those confused. The reason I would need Smoke to have an Nenra is, one, I don't think it was really fleshed out in detail in the previous games, and two, I need something to really double down on his whole I'm feeling out of place, insecure, I need to find myself type deal. That's just the character arc I really think will suit him and will help like people like Bi-Han, who's trying to tear him down, be in contrast to someone like Scorpion, who's just really trying to prop Tomas up and help him through this, like just really overcome Nenra, his insecurities, and just be the guy that he needs to be for himself. So this is again before they deal with the Soul Stealers, and so they went to go investigate. Smoke now has a Nenra, and that's causing a lot of issues. Smoke was already using magic in order to like do a lot of the things he needed to do, like fight or maybe be stealthy or just traverse areas and whatnot. And a Nenra, as they're discovering, is giving him enhanced powers. Basically, he's able to do a lot more than what he used to be, and he's able to just he's very much stronger, and they're recognizing it, but he's also different and they don't know what's going on. He's kind of acting out, he has maybe power emitting from him sometimes, he's losing control. It's just something is going on within him internally, and it's a representation of what he's been struggling with his whole life. Sub-Zero could probably shit on Smoke more because he just thinks, well, look what you did. You messed all this up. Now you're a danger to us because you can't control your powers. And he's just having even more reason to pile on Tomas as he's already dealing with all this stuff. Now, fast forward to the whole Soul Stealer arc, because this is where I think it kind of changes things up. So they go on the mission. They leave Smoke to guard the Soul Stealers while Sub-Zero and Scorpion go to investigate more. Now, like, maybe we could have something where Scorpion talks to Tomas before leaving, saying, like, you can do this, you can control yourself, we trust you, go, and, like, we will be back soon, don't worry about it. And they go, and that's where you go, and Sub-Zero and Scorpion meet Shang Tsung. Bi-Han's like, I guess I'm a bad guy now, fuck everyone else, listen to me, I'm your Grandmaster, and all that dumb stuff happens. What I would really change, though, is once Scorpion escapes the Soul Stealer area and he gets into where he should be meeting up with Smoke, he notices, hey, why are there like a bunch of dead people here? And it turns out that while they were inside just fucking off, Smoke had to fight off tons of just henchmen and jobbers, just protecting the Soul Stealers and this like, well, protecting himself for one, but like keeping the Soul Stealers from being activated maybe. Just something that just shows Smoke, it clearly like just fucked up tons of people. He had immense strength that no one would have predicted, and when Scorpion comes out and he sees Smoke, he's just probably lying there unconscious, or maybe he's in a corner and he's scared. Scorpion goes and comforts Smoke, and they go and they just continue their escape. He's like, whatever, Bihan's turning on us. It doesn't matter. I'm here for you. And they have their conversation that they were having in the actual game where he's like, you know, we may not be brothers by blood, but we are family and we are brothers. And then Bihan comes back in the picture with his little edgelord, listen to your Grandmaster spiel. This is also, or I changed part of how the confrontation goes, because while I think Scorpion should beat Sub-Zero at the end of the fight, I don't think he should be like definitively the winner of the battle, nor do I think Bihan needs to be captured. I think he can just have Bihan like kind of knocked down for a second, and as he's getting back up, they're just Bihan's just like mumbling to his breath. He's clearly pissed because he has a huge ego and he just can't believe his brother's betraying him, even though it's ironic because Bihan's turning against them, more or less. And that's when Scorpion is just really going off on Bihan, saying, this is not what father wanted. This is not what it means to be Lin Kuei. This is not what it means to be Grandmaster. And he goes and just talks to Bihan, gives him a reality check. And then that's where he goes, while Bihan's conscience, like, we are Lin Kuei no more. Like, you have soiled what our clan is supposed to represent, what our father wanted to be, and we will follow you no longer. And then that's where he like basically swears to Tomas, like, we will start our own clan, our own thing, blah, 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 while Bihan's there. And Bihan's just getting more and more pissed, like, how dare you go against me, the clan, this is what we need, this is our destiny, and like, I don't know, maybe even go into, I'll kill you if I have to. I also just want to say, I'm not quite sure how I would have this done, but the Shirai Ryu were essentially disbanded or maybe even wiped out at this point in the story. I think while this is happening, Smoke doesn't just purposely set out of the sidelines. I want him to be injured or just unconscious or recovering from a Nenra, because like that just took a lot out of him. Like, I just, again, when Scorpion regrouped with him, I want there to be bodies around Smoke. I want him to just fuck people up, and he's exhausted or hurt right now. But as the fight is coming to a conclusion and Scorpion is just talking down to Sub-Zero and just explaining like, no, fuck you, we're doing our own thing now. Maybe a Nenra starts to like come out again, or just Smoke has like a little tremor basically, and the place starts shaking. So Sub-Zero basically just makes his escape while Scorpion is just trying to comfort Smoke, tell him he can't control it, everything's gonna be okay, and Smoke is just really feeling like a freak. But Scorpion just doubles down, saying, we will like start the Shirai Ryu back up, you and me together. We will get this figured out for you. I will do it like until I will be your brother and fight by your side and fight to help you and like make our clan and father proud until I'm dead. I'm with you and nothing's going to change that. This really just solidifies for all three characters how I want their trajectory to be throughout the rest of the series, where Sub-Zero is doubling down on, okay, you guys want to go against me? Well, fine, fuck you. Maybe even thinks, right now, I have no brothers, you're dead to me. And he's all about his make Lin Kuei great again spiel. He wants them to be strong, he wants to have control, just so no one else loses their mothers again in the future. For Scorpion, he is being the person his father was raising him and Bihan to be from the get-go. It's a returning back to when he first hugged Smoke and how I imagined like their interaction to first be, where he's going and comforting his younger brother that's in need, who's scared, who clearly just needs someone to help him get through a tough time. And that's the person Scorpion's gonna be. He's gonna be a leader. He's choosing to restart the Shirai Ryu, like abandoning his blood clan basically, because that's just what his father maybe would have wanted him to do at this point, is being the leader that their father always wanted him and Bihan to be. He's choosing to accept love into his heart and not hate. He understands that Smoke isn't to blame for everything that happened in the past, and by forming the Shirai Ryu in his honor, he is just fully embracing Smoke and just putting all that to the side. Like, that's his brother, if not by blood, then by everything else but, basically. For Smoke, he's kind of just a crossroads for both Bihan and Scorpion's character arc, where Bihan chooses to hate Smoke, Scorpion chooses to embrace him. Scorpion chooses to side with Smoke and start up the clan in his name. Sub-Zero chooses to just basically cast them both out, essentially, in a way. And so Smoke is just where I want the dynamic to center around, because he's going to be the driving force for both of these characters, while also at the same time having his own internal struggle. This really would just be a point where Smoke can figure out who is Smoke or who is Tomas and just be his own person, or potentially like face the consequences of succumbing to everything that's been internally weighing him down his whole life. In order of MatPat leaving YouTube, that's just a game theory. I really think that this is just maybe the specifics you don't agree with, but this is the type of direction I really think that the characters need. It leaves a lot of doors open while also, I think, thoroughly explaining how they kind of are where they are. It just significantly gives them more character growth and depth than what they currently have in the MK1 story as it stands. And I just think that's bullshit, because these guys are super cool, and how they're being represented right now is pretty criminal. So let me know what you think. I just appreciate everyone that's been giving this a watch. Just let me know any type of feedback you have, whether it's how I sound, my like really bad gameplay, how the story in my head's going so far, or just anything. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day. I'll catch you later.